Hi.
Beginning of the video, Tracy's playing with the cat.
No, they didn't see that part.
I got a scratch on my face. So...
It's live and we're late because we forgot what time it was.
Well, in our defense, we had a client
we had a
here
client
and
we lost track of time.
And my hair's a mess, so we're going to deal with it
my
today.
hair's a mess. And
We're having a hair up day today.
We're having a hair up.
Hair up.
Half butt makeup.
Half butt and cat in the background, I can see her.
I was going to say half-assed, I might as well just say
it. Half butt makeup. I was trying to figure out what half butt makeup meant.
Half-assed makeup.
Oh, gotcha. I don't do the makeup. So
you don't do the bangs either.
I don't do the bangs either. We'll just make there. I don't know why I try and make them neat because they end up messy.
To make them neat, but
all right.
Hi, people.
Enough about our makeup and hair. We have a few subjects today.
I have no clue what we're talking about today. I asked her and she said it's a modge podge of everything. So
it is.
Surprise!
We don't have any questions, so. There are some things coming down that we're going to talk about.
You guys are slacking on your questions.
You're slackers.
Come on. You got questions.
You don't know everything, because I don't know everything, and I do this for a living, so...
And the cat's trashing the place.
Okay, then. So, yeah, maybe you do know everything about taxes. But if you don't, ask us questions. We would love to help you.
You don't know everything.
I don't even know everything. I'm afraid of what I learned this week, actually. So here's the deal.
That sounds exciting.
Item number 1. We're gonna go in a different order than my tips are here for myself. But item number 1 is the Tax Act. So the Tax Act in Canada is a big, huge, disgusting list of rules that actually takes up a book larger than any book I've ever seen in my life. It is seriously actually thicker than that. It's ridiculous. So our current government, in their infinite wisdom, have decided that we're going to do a reassessment on the Tax Act. Which makes me laugh.
Which makes it go from this big to maybe this big.
Yeah, exactly. You know what song she's talking about?
Tracy.
You don't have a choice. Song.
Why?
So here's what Stephanie and I...
Why do I have to sing the song?
Because Stephanie and I have decided that there is a tax commercial waiting to happen. People don't want to file their taxes.
You don't have a choice. You don't have a choice. You think you do, but you really don't, because you don't have a choice. You gotta do your taxes. Starring the tax ladies.
Yeah, it's too funny. Stephanie's been dying for that.
That's hilarious. Thanks, Steph.
Okay, so the Tax Act is big and ugly. It's huge, and there's rules that are obsolete. It has not been revised in my lifetime.
Oh my goodness.
We keep adding to
That's
it.
That's a long time.
Yeah, I was sort of felt that jab to the heart there. Oh my goodness. Since God was a small child. Yeah, okay then.
I'm sorry, I was just there. I had to do it.
Yeah, I had to do it. So yeah, it hasn't been revised in my lifetime, which is a long time, as Tracy says, okay? They keep adding to it. Here's a new rule, let's add this. Here's a new rule, let's add this.
They're gonna make it from like this big to like this big. They're just
ridiculous.
Gonna add shit. They're not taking shit out.
Yeah, exactly. So obviously, I'm getting rid of the stuff. So obviously, the more complicated they make it, the more fantastic things are for me, because I'll do more taxes because it's so ridiculous you can't do them yourself. But we don't want that to happen, because then it gets harder for me as well. So yes. I'm glad they're reviewing the Tax Act. I hope that something comes of it. I hate this error that keeps popping up. I really do hope something comes of it, and I hope they clean it up a little bit. But I'm not optimistic that it's going to be any major changes.
They're just going to add stuff to it. They're going to see, oh, we're not getting money from this. We're not getting money from this. Yeah. And they're just going to add stuff.
Yeah, I'm not optimistic about it either. No. I don't think it's going to make a huge change, but we'll see what happens. I think it's a make-work project.
And they're taking a long time to review it. It's like from now until June or something like that. So, but I guess it is a big book. So
it's a huge undertaking, and I'm of the opposite mind. I don't think there's possibly any way they're going to be able to review the Tax Act and make good. What's the word I'm looking for?
Significant.
Kind of, yeah. useful changes. I don't think they're going to make useful changes between now and July.
They're adding stuff.
Exactly. I don't think it's
anything.
No, I don't think it's going to I cannot bring myself to believe any good is going to come from this.
I personally think they're literally going to try taxes be so much harder just for people not to be able to do them themselves. That's basically it.
Yeah, that's how I feel too.
You're going to have to go to somebody, a professional of some sort.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I think that's the whole...
Mike says maybe there's going to be positive changes, but I think Mike is drinking something. because,
no!
You know, my understanding from the brief minutes that I read was that we're looking for more money. So,
oh, of course.
Yeah, I think they're looking for where's there a loophole that we can shove some more rules in here. They say they're going to revise it and make it easier, but I'm not optimistic, let's say. Tom would say I'm a pessimist. I think I'm a realist. There's a difference.
There is a difference.
So yeah, the Tax Act is under revision. There we go.
Yeah, that's number 1.
That's number 1. Get rid of that. Number 2, RRSP contributions. Tis the season. You guys are all freaking out.
To put money in your RRSPs because you're gonna owe it. I sing when I talk. I'm sorry.
Today's tax lady session is brought to you by the Singing Tracy. This is awesome.
I sing when I talk. I can't help it. It's just in my blood.
I think it's awesome. I think you should sing every topic today. I think it's awesome. Oh, God, that just about got me. I almost lost control there. I'm crying, by the way. So, what was I talking about? RRSPs. It's RRSP season. It's time to contribute if you have not been doing so all year. So here's something, guys.
I sing all the time.
She does. She sings here too, Mike. Here's the thing about RRSPs. If you think you can only contribute this one time a year, you're wrong. First of all, you can contribute all year. And you can put $1 into your RRSP if you want to. There's no limit to what you got to do. And if your bank says, oh, it's a minimum of $50, or tell your bank to pound sand and go to a different bank, because they're totally wrong. You can do self-directed RRSPs where you can log into your online banking and move 4 cents over into your RRSP if you want to.
But there is such thing as too much.
There is okay. So I'm going to renege on something I used to tell you. Okay, I used to always say, if you are contributing to your RRSP and you can afford to, over-contribute by a couple $1,000s.
Not anymore.
There wasn't a significant change in your tax it wouldn't change your tax situation, but there wasn't a significant change with regards to fees or penalties or any of that kind of craziness, but things have changed.
Put on the brakes. Stop
the bus.
Back up. Don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Big penalties.
Please do not over-contribute $1 to your RRSPs beginning now. So check your limit. If you don't know your limit, ask me to find your limit for you. And do not go over your limit. Okay? So most of us have...
It's going to suck.
It is going to suck. It's going to suck by lots of tens of thousands of dollars. Yeah, it's going to suck a lot. Don't do it.
Just don't do it.
No. Stop. And if there's a financial advisor out there that is disagreeing with me and thinks that you should be over-contributing to your RRSPs, they have not read the current changes and rules regarding penalties for over-contribution.
Yeah, like we just found out about that this week. Yeah. So it's fairly new. So tell them to do their research. Find
out your limit and stop putting money in at that limit. Let your bank know your limit. If you haven't got time or brains to monitor it, let them do it for you. Make sure they do not go over your RRSP contribution limit. I will check yours for you for sure, Cindy, my dear. As soon as we get off live, I'll check it for you. Make sure you're good to go.
Yep.
So, yeah, don't go over your limit. Please do not go over your limit. Most of us who can't afford to contribute 3% of our income all year, we have a cushion built up from previous years, like myself included. But if you have used up your cushion, then you definitely don't want to keep going over.
No.
If you have gone over, or if you're about to go over and you've reached your limit and you're like, well, what am I supposed to do with all this money I want to save now? Put it into a TFSA. I'm not going to get into the whys and hows. All I'm going to tell you is if you're trying to hide money from the tax man and you have maxed out your contributions to RSPs first, then think about your TFSAs.
What is a TFSA?
It's a tax-free savings account.
Okay.
So it's somewhere you can put money that you've already paid tax on.
Apparently I don't have one. Because I don't know what it is.
Well, I honestly don't recommend anybody having a tax-free savings account that doesn't already have their RSPs maxed. So unless you're maxing your RSPs, it makes no sense to TFSA. Okay? It sounds like I'm cursing. TFSA.
Maybe that's what we can use as a curse word instead of our students here.
Yeah, it's a good idea. She'll be like, what are these two? Yeah. Another thing that I wanted to mention about overcontributions of RSPs, if you've used up your max and you're there and you're like, oh my god, what am I going to do with all this money I want to save now? Do you have a mortgage?
Spend it. Buy stuff.
Spend it and buy stuff.
Put it on your mortgage.
Put it on your mortgage. Good answer. Prepaying your mortgage as much as $100 a year can save you actually thousands of dollars. It's crazy. It's crazy. And there's a million calculators out there that you can log into your bank calculator and say, what is a prepayment of $1,000 going to do for me? And you will be shocked at how much you can save. Okay? I mean, I know some people, Tommy's of the mind that we're never going to pay our mortgage off in our life, so why bother paying it early? But it does save you money. It does save you. He wants to leave it as a gift for the children. Here's a mortgage for you.
Here's a mortgage. Merry Christmas.
But really, in all honesty, if you are looking for places to put money that is going to do something logical for you, try your mortgage after your RSP. RSP first. Okay. Next. Were you born in the United States? Were your parents born in the United States? If you are a U.S. citizen or U.S. expat, or if you don't know if you are, find out.
Yes, it's very, very, very important.
It's super important. If you are a U.S. citizen, either naturally or your parents were born in the United States, which makes you a U.S. citizen, even if you have never lived there in your life, or even if you were born in the United States and moved 3 hours after you were born and came to Canada and never went back, you're still a U.S. citizen and you are still required by the Internal Revenue Service, IRS, down in the United States, to be filing a 1040 income tax return. You're required by law.
You have to.
Here's the scary thing.
They are serious when they come to their taxes.
They are super serious.
You think that Canada's bad? Holy crow. Yeah. I couldn't believe it.
I've seen some pretty gross penalties up here from the CRA for not filing your taxes if you owe a lot of money, but we are nothing compared to the IRS. If you are a U.S. citizen and you are required to file your income taxes and you do not, if you don't do it because you didn't know, they may grant you relief. You gotta fight for it, but they may grant you relief. But if you are a U.S. citizen, either by birth or because your parents were, even if you're an expat, even if you never have been to the United States, if you are a citizen and you do not file your return and you know that you should have, it is a $10,000 fine per year. Incident.
Yeah, per
incident. $10,000.
So if you didn't do it for 5 years,
you could owe them 14 cents in income tax and a $10,000 fine.
Yeah.
Just for 1 year. It's horrible. So listen, there's this thing, they've taken I don't know if the government change has anything to do with this. It could, maybe.
I would say it has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, it could be.
Because they want to get things caught up.
They want to clean stuff up. Anyways, I've talked a little bit in the past about the Canadian Voluntary Disclosures Program. Well, the United States has something similar. So you have a one-time ability to say, oh, shoot, I should have done this and I didn't. Please forgive me. Please don't make me go to bankruptcy because I owe you tens of thousands of dollars. And you can file all your stuff and get caught up one time and it'll go away. And then you can just keep filing after that and you'll be okay. Yeah. Okay?
Right now they have the floodgates open for all these missed filers to file and you won't get penalized.
Yeah.
Because they just want everybody to get it done. Did we figure out what the timeline was on that?
We did not. There's some unclear information about their voluntary disclosures program. How long it's going to be open
for? Because it's not going to be open forever. Yeah. They're only doing this to get people caught up. And because they feel like, they're missing out on money. It's all about money.
Apparently, they think that non-U.S. residents, U.S. citizens, owe somewhere around $6 billion.
Billion, yeah. A lot of money.
$6 billion bucks. Trump's gonna want that $6 billion.
So, hence why things are.
Hence
why they have the floodgates open to get all the people's taxes done.
So here's what I'll tell you: we do not prepare United States income tax returns on a regular basis. I do them sometimes for special situations. I am going to handle one that falls under this expat realm very shortly for someone who's didn't know they had to file. But what I will tell you is I'm not going to take on everybody. There'll be special circumstances when, if my heart feels like I need to help you, then I'll help you. But generally, I'm going to tell you to go see an accountant because there are so many different rules, and I don't know the United States tax laws.
It's complicated.
Yeah. So unless you have a really simple situation, I am going to turn away the business. I'm sorry. And having said that, even if I do take it on, it's not at my regular personal income tax rate. It's like $75 for a US expat return. Okay?
Which I think is fair because it is
a lot more work.
It's a lengthy process. It's a lot more work. So,
yeah.
You know.
And I really need to make sure that I don't do something wrong on them. And so I like to really take my time and work through them. But so if I were you, I wouldn't have faith in me with the United States income taxes. I would go see an accountant that specializes.
But we definitely want to make you guys aware, though, of the situation.
Do not go to the big green box store to have theirs done because those people have less experience than I do with U.S. taxes. Yes. So don't do it. I don't care if their sign says we do it.
They have all kinds of advertisement out right now. We were on their website, and the first thing they did was update it. Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yep.
Don't go there.
Don't fall for it.
They hire people literally for seasons.
Yep.
They read a couple of things, and they think they can do it all. And guess what? How many people have come in here with Canadian returns that have been messed up? Can you imagine if you were an American return? It would be a nightmare.
I was talking to a girl the other day that works for the big green box store, and I asked her about the situation that we're in right now with these, and she actually said to me that she did not know they had to file a federal and a state return. Oh my God, are you kidding me? How can you be filing returns and not know that you have to do both?
Yeah.
It's just, no, don't go there, okay?
No.
Don't go there. If my heart's big and I have the time and the ability and you're willing to pay me, I will consider it. But generally speaking, I don't do U.S. returns. Okay. But be aware, because that 10 grand is painful.
Yeah, we still want to make you guys aware. And it's 10 grand per incident. So, if you have 5 years, there's $50,000. Like, it's a lot of money. There was something about, there was another penalty too. I can't remember what it was for.
There was a stiffer penalty if you're a repeat offender.
Was it a repeat offender?
But I can't remember for the life of me. I can't remember what it was.
Anyway, they're huge penalties. Regardless. It's crazy.
Totally.
You could literally have to file bankruptcy because of how much money
you didn't file your taxes. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's for Americans.
Yeah. So that's for Americans, so we don't want to worry about that too much.
But we do share a border. There is lots of people that live here that were born in the States or their family was born in the States,
And I want you guys to be aware.
Yes.
Okay, because it might affect you. You don't know. If you were born in Canada, your parents were American, you may be required to file. So check it out. Last on the list is tips. All right, all you people in the service industry, all you people that accept gratuities, listen up carefully.
This is very important.
Super important.
It is already taking effect in some parts of the country.
Currently, in Quebec. Now, listen, even though I said Quebec, listen for this whole sentence, okay? So currently in Quebec, you are required to report your tips to your employer. Your employer is required to collect tax EI and CPP as though it were normal income. That is effective immediately.
In Quebec.
In Quebec.
But
8% is the tip number they're using. So if you sold $100 worth of stuff today and you got no tip, too bad. You're being taxed on $100 plus the 8%. Yeah. Okay? Here's the reason I'm telling everybody. Because it's happening in Quebec right now, and we know from previous experience that often our lovely Canadian Revenue Agency like to try things out there first.
Yeah, they use Quebec as the test subject, and it's already in the Canadian government system, so be ready.
Be ready, this is going to hit us. Yeah. It's going to hit us. I'm confident if it doesn't hit us in 2017, it'll be 2018 for sure.
Yeah.
Here's the reason I'm telling you this far ahead of time. If I am a waitress and I am claiming just my T4 income and I never claim anything for tips, anything reasonable for tips, and then this comes into law and all of a sudden, for some reason in my 2017 income taxes, I've got $4,000 I made last year in tips, don't you think Canada Revenue is going to look at you the year before?
And see that you worked at the same place, and they're going to be like, well, how come you didn't report your tips last year?
Oh my God.
Review.
So now, not only are you going to have to pay tips on what they estimate you probably did last year, but you're going to get a fine and a penalty and interest on what they think you should have reported.
Yeah.
So if you are in the service industry and you've never reported tips before, by God, you better start this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make a log.
Get in there and get started.
Yeah. Make a log. Keep track of all your tips. Report them to your employer if you have to. You really should start.
I know it sucks, you guys.
And so many people don't keep track of them. They just take their tips and whatever. But you got to think about it. It's not just tips you're getting in cash either. If there's a debit machine, credit machine, those tips are all on record.
Yeah.
And they get split up. So, there's a trail. Yeah. They can find it.
So, and I'm telling you now, the government knows there's a lot of money they're not getting here, and this is going to be an open horse. I'm telling you right now. I've seen this happen with things before. This happened with RRSP contributions like 10 years ago. Everybody was reporting them differently. All of a sudden, all hell broke loose. It's going to happen again. Quebec is their test zone this year for 2016 tax filing. I guarantee you, as sure as I'm sitting here, there are more provinces doing it next year. And I would really be surprised if by 2018 it isn't a mandatory thing. And the percentage value may vary by province, but it's going to be mandatory tip tax.
It's coming. It's inevitable. It's coming.
Yeah.
So if you don't work in the industry to get tips and you know somebody that does, let them know.
Warn them. Yeah. Put some tips on your taxes this year. You can report other income, gratuities. Report some. And at least, I'm not going to tell you what to do because a lot of you don't even file your tips. I know, right? I do taxes.
Lots of people don't even file their taxes.
Yeah.
we have to get you guys fixed up.
Here's what I would say, though. If I were in the service industry and I was trying to maybe cover my butt and prepare for what's coming in the next 2 years, I'm putting a minimum of 5% in there. Minimum. I know you hate the idea, but dude, you gotta prepare, because if they come and find the error before you report it, the penalties are astronomical.
Yeah, they're not nice about it.
You're never gonna recover from it. It'll be gross. It'll be really gross. Mm-hmm. Okay? So promise me.
You're better off just
promise me you will log something this year. Okay? Mm-hmm. If you haven't before, do it this year. Put in something.
We're gonna look at your T4s, and if we see that you worked at some sort of service industry, we're gonna ask you.
We are.
Did you make tips?
Did you make tips?
And then we're gonna probably give you the big babble that we're giving right now of why you should.
We'll be like, did you watch our December 2nd live?
Because it's important. It's so important.
It is. Because I'm telling you guys, you'll get pulled. You might think you're just a little guy, little gal, and you got no impact. But I'm telling you right now, they will have a special committee appointed to find everybody that works at Boston Pizza, and every one of you bugs is going to get done. Like, be really, really careful. Be really careful, okay? And I'm telling you this a couple of years ahead of time to save your butt. Because if they audit you and they find the problem, you're gonna be in big trouble. And, it's gonna suck a lot.
All your T4s are recorded with the Canada Revenue Agency. Yeah. Like, they're gonna know. Yeah. Okay, you worked at Boston Pizza last year. You didn't claim any tips. You worked there this year and you got $4,000 in tips. What happened? And
I mean everybody that accepts tips, right? So if in your job you think in the industry that you work in there are gratuities, you need to think about recording some gratuities, okay? Yeah. So you might think Tommy is a perfect example. My husband's a DJ. He gets tips now and then. He gets
tips all the time.
Maybe other DJs don't, but I'm pretty sure they probably do. And you all need to start working on thinking about logging something. Tips happen. The government's not stupid, right? The people that make these rules are humans, and they understand that when they go out to a restaurant or to a bar or hire somebody to do a service, they sometimes will give them tips.
Yep.
Be careful.
Sure.
Okay?
So yeah.
Yeah.
That
was our last thing.
That's our cloud of doom.
These are all ugly things today.
This was an ugly life.
I'm sorry. But
we are the bears of bad news on this Friday.
Here's the thing. I would rather tell you now than you find out down the road that you owe the IRS in the United States $10,000 because your mom and dad were born there and you were never there. I'd rather tell you now. I would rather warn you 2 years ahead of time that taxes might be a bad problem.
Okay, what if somebody, they were born there or whatever, or they weren't born there and the parents were, and they moved here, and now they're like in their 20s or 30s or 50s and never, ever, ever did it. Could you imagine? Yeah, get it done. It's now it's time.
It's huge.
Could you imagine if you didn't know your whole life?
And if you knew, here's the worst thing. If the IRS can prove that they know that you knew you were supposed to file and you just didn't, it's massive. We looked, there was like hundreds, like $500,000 fine.
I remember adding something up and it was like $700,000.
Yeah,
It was crazy.
It's really crazy. So
So
and unfortunately, it's not going to change anytime soon. They just opened up the floodgates to voluntary disclosures down there because they know it's a huge issue. So if you know anybody that's an expat, or you know anybody that, their parents are down in the U.S. or they were born there, maybe mention it to them. Mention that, do you know that if you're supposed to file? And just because you're a Canadian citizen does not mean you don't file an American tax return. Doesn't work that way. You have to file both. I'm not telling you you're going to pay taxes in both countries because there are tax agreements and it's all chaos and blah, blah, blah. But check it out. Educate yourself. Find out if you have to return, if you have to file a return, and if you have to, then figure out whether you're going to owe any money down there or not.
Yep.
Pardon me.
So, I think that's it. Are we done? Blah, blah, blah. To do something happy.
Okay, let's do something happy. Let's give away free income tax preparation this year.
Yay! That's happy.
How are we going to do that?
I don't know. How do you want to do it?
I know. First person that... Janice deserves it. Janice, you deserve it. Out of the goodness of my heart, I might just do that anyways. Sing.
Oh, people can submit videos and sing. Make us a jingle.
That's a great idea.
Make us a jingle.
Here's the deal. You know what? I'm gonna step this up. Here's the deal. Okay? Here's the rules. I'm gonna love this.
Oh, I'm gonna love
it. You need to video yourself singing a song about income taxes or income tax preparation or how much you hate the Canada Revenue Agency. Anything one of those tax-related subjects. You sing us a video. It has to be 15 seconds long. So time that. That's not long. You can make it 15 minutes if you want, because that'll amuse us. But if you do it, then I'm preparing your income taxes for free this year. This isn't a draw. Okay?
So if you participate,
you
get
win.
Free taxes this year.
Okay? 15-second song. Now here's the kicker. I get to publish this. So if you don't want people to see you using your potty mouth like we do, don't potty mouth in the video.
In this episode, I don't know if you realize.
Yeah, we'll look at it later.
Because I was thinking about that.
So here, I'm not going to post this on Facebook. I'm not going to tell people. The only way you're going to know about this is if you watch this video or somebody tells you. So here's the deal, okay? 15 seconds minimum. Has to be a video. We have the right to share it on our page.
Post it on our YouTube channel.
And if you do it, you win. You win free income tax preparation this year.
Yay!
Easy as that.
I'm so excited.
I'm kind of excited.
So do I get entered because I sang?
Because I charge her to do her taxes, right? Right.
I think I'm going to do my own taxes this year.
Remember,
very excited.
Do your taxes because you don't have a choice. I thought you were going to sing it.
You don't have a choice. You think you do, but you really don't, because you don't have a choice. File your taxes.
Thanks, guys. Good luck. I hope you all enter, and I hope I have to do a bunch of free taxes.